Good evening and welcome to the Capitol Center. Tonight, the Comets, back in action, facing off with the Marietta College Pioneers in a rematch of a game where the Pioneers got the better of us back in Marietta on January 19th, a 91-69 victory for the Pioneers in that one. But Capitol has played better ball of late and have finally got themselves in the win column in the conference schedule at 2-12. Have a chance to move up in the standings if they can pick up a win here over the last two games. And Jonathan, they're going to be tested. They have a pretty good Marietta team in town here today at 12-4, and then this weekend a 14-1 Baldwin Wallace awaits on the road.
It's not going to be easy. We can tell you that. It's more like a jigsaw puzzle trying to figure out how they want to finish off the season here. They have the right pieces. You can't trade the pieces you got now. You just got to rock with them. But hopefully they put that picture together by the end of this next week.
If there is a couple of silver linings, it looks like Cap has found kind of a rotation it likes. They've made some changes to the starting lineup. Demi Brewer, who had been coming off the bench as kind of that six-man role, has now settled herself in that starting lineup. And it's a very short rotation right now for Capitol. They're playing players 37, 38 minutes a night routinely, especially in that backcourt. And kind of shortening that rotation has helped. They've picked up 2 wins, granted, against some of the losing teams in the conference as well, but battled with the Mount Union team, almost pulled up a win here at home. Got 2 tough wins on the road. Don't care who you're playing. It's tough to get the wins on the road. And they beat teams on the road that they couldn't beat here in this building. So obviously that's progress in the right direction. And outside of Aaron, who's been out all season, obviously, the team's relatively healthy right now, which is great. You're 1 week away from that tournament, which is kind of just a play-in tournament at this point. Now everybody's in it due to the COVID kind of breakout a few weeks ago. So it's kind of a new season starting next week, and this week is all about finding momentum.
I like how you're so optimistic, Jimmy. I like the optimism here. You talked about how they sort of found their rotation. Well, that question is, have they really found their rotation when your 2 starters are playing over 35 minutes apiece? Last week against Mount Union, Demi played almost 40 with 39 minutes, and Lainey Murphy as well as 37. It was a close matchup against the Raiders. They fell short, just weren't able to get something going in the third quarter, and was only scoring 9 compared to Mount Union's 13. So defensively, they were holding up with this team, but when it came toward the fourth quarter, when they put all the eggs in the basket, they just fell short.
Let's shift focus now to this Marietta team coming into town. 12-4. Nothing really jumps off the page about this team, but they can shoot from outside. That jumps off the page. And, again, it's not a physically tall or powerful group. It just seems to be just a pretty fundamentally sound team when you look at it on paper. Marietta in the past kind of known for their height down low, but that's really not the build of the team this year.
Well, right now this team's sitting number 3 within the conference right now with a record of 19-4 overall, but 12-4 within conference. They're going on their back-to-back win streak right now, hoping to make it 3 for them. But on the road, they do pretty significantly well, as they are 8-2 on the road. And the Comets are 1-8 at home. This being the last home game, I'm hoping they can make a stand here and defend the Capitol Center.
This is a very weird matchup when you look at this over the past decade. The first matchup would have been back in 2010 on January 20th. And Marietta got dominated by Capitol early on. They lost the first 7 meetings of this game. Back in 2013, Marietta finally got in the win column, 54-53, but then they lost 7 more after that. And then something happened in 2017 and the script flipped. 5 straight wins for Marietta. Capitol won 1 game back in 2019. Another 5 straight for Marietta again. Capitol won last year, 79-74 in this building. That was an upset win at the time as well, too, before facing them in the playoffs again, and unfortunately weren't able to get that win in that playoff last year. But Marietta's kind of had the upper hand of late. Overall, it's been pretty even, but you mentioned the road record. They're 4-8 in this building lifetime. So, you call me Mr. Optimist. I'm trying to give you something here. They are struggle in this building. We'll see if that continues tonight, Jonathan.
Jimmy, I'm always going to be realistic, but I like the optimism. I do want to see – I don't want to say the impossible, but I want to see the slim chance, slim likely happen. You know, talking about Slim Shady. Did you see that halftime performance?
Yeah, we did.
That was a good halftime performance. So hopefully these ladies can put on a performance tonight and defend their home court.
We will take time out for our national anthem, come back with the starting lineups and opening tip here from the Capitol Center. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Capitol Center. Once again, it's the Marietta College Pioneers in town to face off with the Capitol Comets tonight. And let's get to our starting lineups. First up for the Pioneers, their 5'8" sophomore guard leading scorer, Olivia Gribble. 5'7" guard, sophomore, Hannah Schill. The 6' sophomore forward, Mackenzie Wilson. The 5'4" freshman guard, Allie Grake. And the 5'11" junior forward, Aaron Hahn. Gribble, Schill, Wilson, Grake, and Hahn, led by Cole Vivian in her 6th year, leading the Pioneers from the sideline. And for the Comets, 5'8" freshman guard out of Fredericksburg, Ohio, Lainey Murphy. The 5'4" junior guard out of Plain City, Ohio, Demi Brewer. 6' guard out of Beaver, PA, the freshman Maddie Weiland. 5'9" senior forward out of Wakeman, Ohio, Brooke Amert. And the 6'1" sophomore center out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Maddie Duguid. So it's Murphy, Brewer, Weiland, Amert, and Duguid. Jonathan, the thing of note there, Duguid in the starting lineup today. She had been coming off the bench the last few games. Nicole Flock will be the 6th man today. And kind of speculating, but obviously wanting to get more size in the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's a great point right there. When you have last week, they went to the small ball rotation. They was fine with that, but you talked about earlier about the rotation when it comes to leaving your starters in longer. Having Nicole come off the bench provides more opportunities to get the backcourt some more rest, and Murphy and Brewer. So allowing that's a good option right there, and maybe do good coming back in the starting lineup. She can be a threat off the boards, getting rebounds.
Yeah, Duguid had been in the lineup quite a bit in that starting lineup earlier in the season, then had an injury, had a COVID situation where she was out a few games, and has kind of been battling her way back into the rotation since, and is now back into the starting lineup. We'll see if that's a fixture for the rest of the season here with the last few games, or if they'll just kind of go with a matchup approach at this point. Again, nothing super intimidating on the other side in terms of size. Mackenzie Wilson is 6 foot. She will take the jump for Marietta, but nothing that Weiland, for instance, couldn't handle in a man-to-man situation. So Capitol, I think, just electing to go back to that size in the lineup, and interestingly enough, Weiland is actually taking the tip for Capitol. Caps in their home whites, the Pios in their navy road uniform, and Wilson wins the tip back to Marietta. And we're underway from the Capitol Center. 12-4 Pioneers. Capitol looking for just their 3rd conference win of the season, but it would be a big one, as a shot here from Gribble, no good. Rebound from Amert. The reason it would be a big one is because Cap could move up to the 8th seed with a win here tonight.
That'll make a big difference in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, they would get a home game in that first round against the 9 seed, which would likely be Wilmington in that scenario. Brewer throws it away, stolen by Gribble. And now Gribble almost loses it, but keeps her dribble and passes it off to Hannah Schill.
You know, with the new implementation of this play-in tournament, do you think teams that are likely to make those lower seeds or have the opportunity to upset those higher seeds if they do get past?
Deep three from Schill, but yeah, I think there is something to that. They talk about that in college. You know, if you get to play a few games and get into a rhythm versus a team that's kind of been sitting on the couch for a few games, there's a little bit to that, I think. But I also think it's tough to travel each game as well. It's not like you're at a neutral site. I think that's a big difference as well. You see some of those other college tournaments, like the Big Ten tournament, they're at the same site the whole time. So you're not traveling back to school, go to class, on the road again, and traveling all over the state. But at some point, too, if you win a few games, you get that confidence under you. Who knows what can happen. 3-0 Marietta. Cap's got to shoot here. They got 2 on the shot clock. Do good. Throws it away right at the buzzer anyway. And Gribble comes away with it.
Now, you say having a neutral site, that makes a huge difference. Does it really?
3 ball from up top.
Because taking a look at us, I know we've only had one neutral site.
Not for us in particular, because we're kind of centrally located. But look at a team like Wilmington, that if they have to go to Cleveland one game, then they got to go to Marietta, then they got to go back to Cleveland. It's not like they're chilling in Marietta at night. They're going all the way back home. A day later, going back to Cleveland. That's a 3-hour drive one way. It could make a difference. For Cap, I mean, the longest trip is probably 2.5 hours tops to John Carroll or Baldwin Wallace, one of those.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not as big of a deal since we're dead center of the state. But I think there's something to that, traveling on the bus. 6-0 Marietta. And Weiland with good defense down low there on the low block.
Nice little block party, small, quiet.
Cap's trying to get something going on this end here. And Dogood with a power move to the bucket. Nope, she's called for a travel. That's that pro hop. Come on.
No, I took a little bit too many steps on the yellow brick road.
So not the start Cap was dreaming of here in this one. Down 6-0, but on the bright side, it's just been 2 shots to this point from Marietta. They're already knocking down some outside looks. And that's another tough shot that goes in there for Gribble.
Gribble, dribbling, off the dribble, shots.
She's had a really nice season, and she's just a sophomore. 4 of these starters, as Brewer gets blocked down low, are sophomores. 1's a freshman, 3 sophomores, 4 underclassmen is what I meant to say. Jump ball here, Cap's going to get possession.
Like the hustle right there by 21 Savage, Maddie Wiley.
It's a tough it's a young team over here from Marietta, and they've already had so much success. I think they're kind of built to sustain this here for the next few years. This year might not be their year with the other 2 teams up above them, but they could surprise some people in the tournament as well. It's a young, fearless team, and they're playing tremendous defense early on in this game. Nicole Flock's going to check in and replace Weiland.
It seems like we're going to that small ball backcourt at least.
Flock's a good rebounder and defender, so trying to get a little bit of that more into the mix here.
Good poke right there by Ahmert.
Murphy running the floor now back to Ahmert. Pass gets tipped out of bounds. And that was really good recovery there from Marietta to get back. Devin Hefner will now check in. She is 3rd leading scorer on the team.
Now with this trend here, this whole season progressively, we just seen as if we tend to start off very, very slow, start the game off.
And they did that in the first matchup too with Marietta. And this is not a team you want to play from behind against. Again, a very good defensive team. Marietta averages just their opponents after this shot no good. Their opponent's average is 59 points per game this season, which ranks just barely 5th in the conference, virtually a tie for 4th. Offensive rebound from Hefner, no good. Ahmert, good box out. A block from Dogood. Another swat at it, but it's put back and in by Wilson. 10-0 Marietta.
And just overmatched down low as Marietta was able to get a tremendous amount of rebounds right there.
Flock will try to get something going, gets a foul called against Wilson. That's the first whistle of the game. And another sub make it 2 coming on for Marietta. Camille Cummins and Kelly Levering checking in.
You already noticed quick rotations already from the Pioneers. Don't expect to see a lot of rotation from the Comets this game.
No, they've been running with what they got lately. Murphy tries to throw one up, no good.
Murphy, only a freshman. I'm telling you, she's got a high ceiling on this team.
I agree with that. I think she's got a little bit to learn still, but the offensive talent is certainly there. And part of it is it's just not a lot of threats offensively for Capital with her right now. Timeout called by Cap. Not the start they were dreaming of at all. 12-0 run to start the game for Marietta. We'll step away. Quick timeout, and we are back here at the Capitol Center. 12-0, Marietta out in front. Much to their style, a fundamental game so far for the Pios. They've knocked down a few threes, and they've sat down and played pretty good defense, and that's kind of been their recipe to success this season. Omert's going to get to the free throw line here. That was a nice pass from Brewer. You look at the early stats here. They're 2 of 3 from 3, out-rebounding Capital 5-2. They have 2 offensive rebounds already. Already +3 in turnovers, 5-2 there.
Almert is a 71 free throw percent shooter. Gets the first one to go in. You know, she had a great weekend. I know not the ending she went to half last weekend was senior night, and there's only 2 seniors here on the team, and Almert as the only senior able to play this year. She's trying to do her best to hold down the team as a veteran.
Yeah, the more that Brooke is involved, the higher success for this team. We saw her have the game-tying shot against, I want to say it was Heidelberg, to send that game to overtime earlier this season. And again, not someone really known for her offensive prowess, but she'll get you 8 to 10 points a night and 6 to 7 rebounds typically.
Yeah, she averages about 8.5 on the season,
well, there you go.
5 rebounds on the year.
Nice shot from Murphy from outside. I believe that was a 2.
It's a deep 2-pointer right there.
It was. First basket of the game is good for Capital.
See, I think that this season really would have been a different season. I know we keep reiterating it if Emma was able to play, but I'm telling for the nerve for Laney, because if I'm doing reviews, film, your main person you're going to look for is Murphy, because knowing she's your best shot creator opportunity here.
That's a foul against Ahmert here for charging. And Murphy does show you some spurts at times where she can create her own shot. This foul is called against Ahmert's her first. No real foul trouble yet for the Crusaders, or the Comets. Man, I keep doing that.
Come on, man. We changed the mascot name months ago.
Yeah. Well, when you do this for 10 years, you kind of get stuck in the old way of things. Pioneers with it from the free throw line extended. This is Levering off the bench, and she's able to produce a basket.
Multiple hands in her face, and she was not
Yeah, they're
fazed.
making a lot of tough shots. 14-4. She's got to hang in there right now. Kaylee Cyphers, meanwhile, is checked in for Capital as well. Kind of a bigger lineup now with both Cyphers and Duguid in there. Flock at the 3. Flock looking to the top of the key. Cyphers inside to Duguid. Some happy feet there. Might have got away with the travel. And now a foul is called against Marietta. I think that's on Cummings.
Yep.
That is their third team foul. So one to give until the bonus situation with 3:48 to play. Flock gets the inbound pass now. 20 on the shot clock after the brief reset. Brewer travels.
Those turnovers are costly. Well, though that makes a huge difference in games.
Especially the unforced ones like that. I agree. Just getting the feet moving too early. Nice poke here from Flock. It's going to stay with Liston, passing it over to Hefner. Marietta's got 5 bench players. Meanwhile, on the outside, on the other side, Levering takes a shot, no good. Offensive rebound for Hefner. Fake shot from Liston, drives in. Levering underneath the basket, throws up a miss. Cyphers tried to box her out. Another offensive rebound. It's down again. Levering throws it up and in. Too many chances.
Too many second chance opportunities right there, and the Pioneers taking full advantage of it.
16-4 now. Cap had got it back down to 8, but now 4-0 run the other way. Murphy, that's a deep 3. All right.
Flash.
Murphy's got 5. Knocks down a really tough shot and gets Cap back to within single digits for now. Shot missed off back iron. Flock with the good rebound there.
SMS text, unable to respond to Murphy's 3.
Flock handoff, dribble to Murphy now, and then gets it right back. Flock drives baseline, under the basket, went for the reverse. She was fouled. Cyphers put back, no good there. That is the 4th foul, so one more, and Cap is in the bonus. Marietta has done a nice job of spreading out the 4 fouls. Checking in now is Hannah Croft.
You know, the Marietta's doing a good job so far already to start off in this quarter of out-rebounding the Comets, and their tallest player hasn't even been in the game for that long. Their tallest player is number 15, Kenzie Wilson, standing over at 6 feet.
Hefner has 3 rebounds. She's 5'7".
Just goes to show you size does not matter on the court.
Positioning.
Facts.
Also for Marietta, worth noting, they've played 11 players now in this first quarter alone. 8 minutes in, Cap has played just the 7. Deep 3. Kissed the rafters on the way down, no good. Murphy gets the rebound. Murphy now top of the key to Flock. She drives left side, has some room. Scoop layup, no good. Croft with the rebound. And on the outlet, it goes Grake. Back in there from the starting lineup. Passes out to Congrove, and she was fouled. That goes on Weiland. That's her first. Amert with 1 and Weiland with 1. Katie Burke will check in now, and Amert as well. Gabby Ledbetter in the lineup. So it's Amert, Ledbetter, Flock, Weiland, and Katie Burke.
Jill Congrove at the line. She's a 63% free throw shooter.
Congrove, a senior. Believe the lone senior on the team. Yeah, that's or 2, Liston and Hefner also seniors, so 3 seniors on the team. None in the starting lineup, as we mentioned. Congrove's kind of been one of those rotational players for the last few years here for the Pios. And she makes it 18-7. Ledbetter now. Gets the pass inside from Weiland. Kick out to Amert for 3. Looks good. Offside iron, though. And now Ledbetter had it taken away from her on the putback. Allie Grake with the steal. Grake now kicks it over to Liston. Liston, top of the key. Marietta kind of running into each other offensively here. Have to spread out the set. Ledbetter denies the interior pass. Now a 3 from Grake. She was kind of winding up her feet as she shot that. Kind of an ugly sequence there from the Pios.
Flock able to come away with the rebound, sort of slowing the tempo down for the team.
Flock handoff to Weiland. Top of the key, here's Burke. Burke looking inside, gets the pass to Ledbetter. Ledbetter backing her way in. Turnaround jump shot, left it short. And the rebound collected by Levering. He's had a nice game off the bench already. 4 points and 3 rebounds.
Great tip right there on the defense, getting it back on transition, causing disruption, stopping the fast break right there.
So Gribble, Schill checking back in, as well as Aaron Hahn. So it's the starting 5 for Marietta, except for they have Hannah Croft in there for Mackenzie Wilson, who is on the end of the bench and probably coming in shortly for Marietta. Nice block from Weiland again. Her defense has really stepped up the last few weeks. Starting to show up on the stat sheet as well. Ledbetter sets a screen now for Flock. on the pick and roll. Kick out to Amert. Didn't get there all the way. Amert lost it after getting her hand on it briefly in transition.
Whiffed.
Yeah, Schill just threw up a no finesse layup there right off the backboard. And easy rebound for Cap. Cap hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Marietta's won for their last 9, but they hold an 11-point lead. And a basket here would be nice. Another turnover instead. That's the 9th turnover. 3 ball, no good. And that'll be the end of the quarter. An ugly one for Cap. Turn the page and start a new quarter off. 9 turnovers in that first half. Our first quarter. We haven't even made it to halftime yet. And it's an 18-7 lead for Marietta. One thing I did want to touch on while we have a moment. Baldwin Wallace and John Carroll playing tonight. That is basically the OAC regular season title game. The winner of that game would control their. If let me put it this way: if Baldwin Wallace wins, they'll be clinched. If John Carroll wins, they'll be tied with Baldwin Wallace and have a 2-0 head-to-head record against them. So they would be in position to win the conference if they won their game on Saturday as well. Right now they lead 23-8 against Baldwin Wallace. The side story there is also the head-to-head battle between Olivia Nagy and Lily Edwards. Those two are number 1 and 2 in pretty much every offensive statistic that you can think of. And points per game, Lily Edwards currently at 16 points per game. Nagy's at 15.6. Nagy has the edge in rebounding, 12.7 to 8.8. They're both shooting over 52% from the floor this season. And another edge for Nagy is that she has 4 blocks per game this season.
Wow.
So that's kind of your showcase game of who's going to win who's going to win the regular season title, get that 1 seed. And then individually, the OAC Player of the Year probably on the line. A lot's going to reflect on where those two teams finish in the standings. You would think if Baldwin Wallace wins, that would help Edwards' case. Same for Nagy. So a lot at stake tonight in that matchup. We'll keep an eye there. But as we mentioned, John Carroll on the road, up 23-8 in the second quarter.
Wow.
Weiland with another block, maybe 2 there, and then kept it in bounds somehow.
Good save right there.
So the starting 5 back out there for Capital and kind of hitting a reset button on that first quarter. Murphy from the left wing. Bounce pass over to Amert, leaves it for Brewer. Duguid around a screen. Has a couple of cutters, now takes it herself around Wilson. Tried to slingshot it in, no good.
Just didn't sling it the right way.
9:18 to play. First half of action, a 3-ball, and that's exactly how this game started. A 3-ball from Olivia Gribble. And that breaks a 2.5-minute scoreless streak. They were 1 for the last 6 from 3 before that hit.
Brewer, she's known for being a playmaker on her team, trying to find spots where her teammates can best succeed. She's going to try to find spots to get this thing rolling.
There haven't been many. It's been very good defense here. Again, Wilson in the post, taking care of Duguid. 2-touchdown lead for Marietta, 21-7. Rebound off the miss here from Grake. And Cap trying to run it now. Brewer to the basket. Nice.
Take that. Quick burst with her.
Kind of created a fast break opportunity for herself. 21-9. As you know, low scoring as Capital's been offensively, they're in this game still. Marietta has been far from efficient. It's the turnovers that are killing them. 10 turnovers for Capital.
I feel like you said they're still in this game.
Yeah.
I believe the score is 21.
Deep 3 from Murphy, trying to change the script on that.
Somebody
That's
please close the windows outside. The door, we got a lot of air coming inside right now. Now, you know when the score gets to 21, you know we talked about earlier about games. You know what happens when it's 21, right?
What does that mean?
You pass the sticks. Next man up.
That's funny.
Hopefully, though, they can try to crawl back. You see, they got to break it down. You don't want to just try to come back 21 just straight. You got to break it down. You want to get that down to 15, 15 down to 10, and slowly, surely get your way back in here. But it starts on the defensive end.
It's the turnovers in the defensive end. Like you said, they've been good defensively. Shooting the ball, Marietta's at just 36%. It's not like they're lighting the world on fire, but they have 12 points off Capital turnovers, and they're down by 14. There's your difference in the game right there. Do good. Kick out. Amert for three. Why not?
Flash!
There it is. The senior knocking down the three. And it's an 11-point game just like that.
See, that's all it takes. You're just going to have to play good defense right here. Can we get a 2-for-1 special?
Wilson kick out. Nice pass to Greg. That's a line drive shot at the rim. No good. Wilson gets the rebound, though, and that's another thing that's killing them is the offensive glass. 6 rebounds on the offensive glass now for Marietta. Second chance points 8-0 in favor of the Pioneers.
Now you brought Dugood back in the starting lineup with Amert down low. You got to find a way to make something happen on the defensive reboards to give your team an opportunity.
Good pass from, good design, I should say, on that pass from Amert, but was kind of too late to get it there. Telegraphed it a little bit, and then didn't put enough on it.
Defense with that, read that well.
It's good team design on the setup there. I was looking at the 3-point stats. Caps 2 for 4. Marietta's 3 for 10. Skip pass to Murphy. Swatted away. 1 to shoot. Cap had no idea. And Marietta gets the shot clock violation.
Right now, plays seem to be predictable toward the Pioneers right now, so you got to try to pull something out of the box of tricks here.
Yeah, I think that'd be more conscious of the shot clock there. That's a young team making a mistake. And an easy bucket on this end.
Another opportunity down low.
That was Devin Hefner. She plays big for someone who's 5'7", already with 3 rebounds and points down in the paint now.
They got 12 points in the paint for the Pioneers already, so they're finding ways to get down low effectively. And what really is not saying that the Comets aren't doing a good job on the defensive end, but they're giving the Pioneers multiple second-chance opportunities to have an opportunity to score again.
Yeah, they have let in some easy ones, but they've also D'd up really nicely. And then, like you said, there's an offensive rebound or two that kind of wipe out a good series of defense, and that's kind of draining. And now Hefner takes it away from Murphy, and the lay-in's good. That's part of the issue, too. This Pioneers team is playing 11 deep. They're fresh when they're out there on the floor, and this is kind of that portion of the game for Cap where you've got some tired bodies potentially on the floor. Nice moves from Brewer, and then she's called for the foul after the miss, trying to tie it up with Liston.
That's nasty. That was a good Euro getting her way, finding her way to the basket by Brewer, just unable to finish right there. It's like this team shows glimpse every now and then. Like you ever seen like a shooting star just come by just once in a lifetime.
Marietta's depth is starting to show in this game. And mentioned in the pregame, nothing really jumps off paper about this team, and I think it's just because they're very deep, and everyone kind of knows their role with this team. No one's going to light up the score sheet and score 20 a night on this team. But they all spread it around nicely and share the basketball. Kind of a bailout foul there against Murphy.
Oh, it was a clear foul. She went for the steal and throw your hands up. I didn't do it. But going back into that rotation, that poses the question. Should Coach McPherson, I know there's only 2 games left and she sort of found the rotation, but during the change of coaches and everything earlier, mid-February, I should say, would you have started playing the younger players on the team, just starting to prepare for next season?
I mean, part of it is you've got 3 freshmen on the floor right now, too, so it's not like you're not playing some of the younger players, but I do understand your point, trying to find a little bit of something there, and I think here we are at the end of the season, and you're just trying to win a few games, so in terms of lengthening that rotation, I don't really know, because frankly, we really haven't seen what the other players can bring to the table. We haven't seen them. We're not in practice with them or anything like that. So, I would like to think if players are working hard in practice and showing some signs, you get them some game time, and maybe that's not happening. Who knows?
Air ball attempt right there by Pioneers. Thank you to whoever didn't close the windows, but if you could do it now, greatly appreciate it.
Brewer brings it across the timeline. A frustrating night so far for Capital. Scoreless in their last 2:38. They throw it away again. That is the 13th turnover Brewer gets flattened, and they're going to call a charge.
Looked like a travel call by this one.
Oh, they called it travel. Sorry. Well, that was a weird call. Honestly, could have called the block for Brewer. She was nowhere near set, but tried to draw some contact, and I think it threw off whoever had the ball from Marietta. Turned into a travel, and then they throw it away again.
Just can't have. Those are just costly turnovers already, and we're not even at the second half yet, and we already have 14 turnovers.
And 12 points. Oh, there's an easy bucket and foul called. Camille Cummins with the basket. And it's death by paper cut for this Marietta team. No one has more than 7 tonight, but they're already up 33-12. With Cummings scoring now, that's 8th players who have found the score sheet.
Cummins are getting that and one play to go down.
And it's kind of an interesting dynamic because the second unit is kind of the more veteran unit. There's your seniors out there, and it'd be interesting to see who closes for this team. Brewer with the deep 3, no good. Rebound collected by Cummins. We won't see the closing lineup tonight if the score stays the way it is, but it'd be interesting to see if you come tournament time next week. They're in a tough game in the last few minutes. Do they go with their younger players, or do they run with this senior, quote-unquote, second unit, or kind of a mixture of the two? That's the question facing 6th-year head coach Cole Vivian on the other side next week. Another offensive rebound and putback.
It's too easy.
Kelly Levering, 6 points and 5 rebounds in 9 minutes off the bench from Levering.
They're making this way too easy down low. So far already, Marietta is not shy from shooting from behind the arc, but knowing majority of their shots are coming down low, you got to shrink the floor.
36-12. Marietta continuing to just attack the basket at will. Trying to draw some contact. There was Cummings, and nice defensive rebound, preventing the offensive rebound. 2:50 until half. Murphy for 3, no good. And a nice rebound with the one hand there from Levering. That's number 5 for her. Number 6 for her already, excuse me. 6 points and 6 rebounds in 9 minutes.
You know, we really talk about Murphy a lot, but, you know, how she has a high ceiling. And, you know, the difference with having Emma out right now, she's having to become the main focus on this team. So hopefully next year they can get her an additional piece to tag along with her, or she can grow more into that ISO role where she's able to find and create the shots to push her team forward.
That's typically what comes in the later years if you're a shooter like she is. She plays off the ball, so you know, maybe we'll see her take on more ball handling duties, especially as Brewer is a junior. There's no true point guard kind of waiting in the wings here with this current roster as is. Foul called against Marietta. That's their first of the quarter, believe it or not.
That's coming second.
Mass substitution now, platoon swap for Marietta. They're going to bring in their starting 5. Cap goes to Cyphers, Dugood, Burke, Murphy, and Flock. Burke from under the basket to insert. Gets it in off of Flock and out of bounds.
I feel like I'm watching an episode of Shaq and the Fool. It's just costly. The turnovers are more than the points on the scoreboard right now. That says a lot.
They have more turnovers than points or rebounds at this point. 15 turnovers. 3 ball, no good from Gribble.
I feel like Wilson just gave up an easy layup for just the fun of it.
36-12 is our score. Burke drives right. Kick out to Flock. Thought about the 3. Got some overcommitment. Fakes the pass. Shot was blocked by Wilson. Caps scoreless in their last 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Marietta's in the middle of a 13-0 run right now.
Air ball.
Yeah, another air ball. That's all right. They're still shooting 36%. Cap is shooting 4 for 18, and they just almost turned it over again. We'll call that a controlled Now Flock gets the offensive rebound.
Take it. Hey, we'll take. I like the. I do say I do like the hustle and tenacity of some of the players here. You can see, especially last weekend against the loss against Mount Union. I know it was senior night, but the frustration. You see it more now going into the. We talk about how this team is young. They start to realize this isn't acceptable. The amount of losses you're going through and the turnover. So, with Ahmed leaving. Next year, those players going into those senior roles, or as you grow on this team, you got to become more frustrated as your emotions get involved in this game.
3 ball from Gribble. 39-12. Kind of a staggering number here, Jonathan. Marietta's taken 40 shots in this game. Capital's taken just 19. That's what the turnovers and the second chance points will do. You don't normally get your shot attempts doubled up by your opponent. And honestly, they just haven't had a chance to score because they're not getting shots up. They do get a 3 here up in the air, no good. Marietta has 7 to work with. Pass down low, layup, good. 41-12, your halftime score from the Capitol Center. We will take a few minutes and digest that and come back with our second half action here from the Capitol Center. It is 41-12, Marietta in front. Welcome back to the Capitol Center. 41-12, first half lead for Marietta. The stats were pretty ugly. 22 rebounds to 19 in terms of to 19 for Capitol. Brooke Amert gets a layup here. She was the leading scorer for Capitol with 5 points in the first half. Lainey Murphy had 5 as well, and Brewer had 2, and that was it. Capitol took 21 shots, and Marietta took 41. Rebound here from Brewer off the miss. Cap was out rebounded by 3, but then here's where the numbers get ugly. 24-2 points off turnovers. 17-4 turnover advantage for Marietta, plus 13 for the Pios. They had 17 bench points to Capitol 0. 8 points on second chance, and they had 20-6 points in the paint of an advantage here, but Cap has come out firing with a 4, and that's going to stay as 4-0 run to start the quarter here in the first 30 seconds. Still down 25, a tall mountain to climb, but something was said in the locker room, and it injected some energy into this team.
You like it. You know, we already established earlier the Comets, they tend to come out slower in the first half, so hopefully this something has woken up. They got something brewing, hopefully.
Aaron Hahn, the only starter who did not score in that first half for Marietta, gets the basket here. And as I said, an analogy earlier, it's death by paper cuts from this Marietta team today. 8 points for Gribble, 6 for Wilson, 7 for Schill, 6 for Levering, 4 from Congrove, and a couple of other players have added 3 or 2 points.
That's a rare sighting right there, just seeing Brewer attempt a three-pointer.
How did that stay in bounds? Cap gets the takeaway out of it. 43-16. Brewers now 0 for 2 from 3. Cap is 2 for 9 from outside, and they're probably going to have to hit a few here this half. Weiland. Get down. It's good.
Just a lucky roll.
And at this point for Capitol, you just want to see the ball go in the basket. And that's a good start. 43-18. 6 points quickly here in a minute and 43 seconds after scoring just 12 in the first half. That's the kind of way you want to start off the second half. We'll see what Capitol can keep doing with it.
Looks like they got the Pioneers sweating a little bit, calling a timeout.
Just making sure they're on the same page here, I guess. In terms of other sports here around Capitol this weekend, women's lacrosse is in action at Burnmore. 2 o'clock start on Saturday, 1 o'clock start on Sunday. I hope I didn't flip that. But 2 games here this weekend for women's lacrosse. We'll be broadcasting on the same channel that you're tuning into now, so you can find us there. And next week, I believe, is the men's opener against Kenyon. That's on the 26th. So lacrosse starting to come its way here. Hopefully it's warm because, man, there's some early February games some years. It's 20 degrees outside. And
Where are we at? We're in Ohio.
It's 55 today. That's not bad at all. Amert with the steal. Brewer cuts to the basket. Layup, good. That timeout didn't fix anything for Marietta. And the crowd into this a little bit, 43-20.
Okay, the Comets are starting to come alive here.
Yeah, it's mid-50s today. That's not bad. Gribble's shot no good. Offensive rebound. Aaron Hahn left it short. Rebound do good. I'm telling you, there's some bitter 20-degree games, though, for lacrosse where it is an ugly game. And then they play in April, and it's 90 degrees outside. It's a weird season.
That's Ohio for you. You never know.
Yep.
Like, are we even in spring or winter right now? I honestly just don't know.
Brewer. Hand off to Amert. Back to Brewer. Oh, that's not a good pass. They got tipped anyway. Would have been intercepted either way. Look at this explosiveness to the basket from Hannah Schill. She was at a different speed there, and she had the ball. 45-20. Pass goes in, and now we're back to the turnover game.
Like I said, there's glimpses here every now and then. We had the glimpse of what should have been.
Getting 40 minutes of that has been a problem. Another offensive rebound. Pass inside. Amert fronts it, and Murphy gets her leg taken out. Oh, no. Hopefully she's okay.
Get up, champ. Get up, champ. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off.
She's all right. Got kind of her leg twisted up under with the opposing player there landing on her.
Coach
Levering.
McPherson going to bring in Flock just to give Murphy a little rest. And Murphy has been the team leading player right here, 21 minutes so far in this game. So this is actually her first time heading towards the bench.
Yeah. Murphy and Brewer, last 5 games, have averaged over 38 minutes each in that backcourt. Amert passes it, no look to no one. Came right back to her somehow. And a foul's called against Marietta. That was weird. Amert went with a no-look pass, threw it right to Wilson. And then I'm not sure how it got back to her, but it did. She wasn't ready for the ball to get back to her. And then Wilson fouled Duguid, I believe, away from the ball. So a weird sequence. That's a pass Amert's made before in years past, when you can kind of rely on someone to be there a little bit more. And I think some of that was there from Amert. Brief delay at the scorer's table now.
Yeah, that's got to be interesting, too, from the perspective of Brooke Almers. She's gone through the progression of this team here. And then you coming in, you're now the senior, and now you're playing with younger players. So it's just like, how do you want to try to move into that leadership role and try to help the team move forward?
Yeah, I mean, she was a member of some pretty good teams here as an underclassman as well. And obviously this year, her roughest year, 3 in the key here against Marietta. And that's a lot mentally to take on. And like you said, she's got to be the mentor, and her other fellow senior is injured. So even more reason that she's kind of looked at as the mentor of this team. And it's definitely a much different role. Pass goes into Amert. And she is not fouled. Thought she possibly was. She's late to get up the floor here, so Marietta's playing up a man. They make some extra passes, and somehow they don't get a shot off despite that advantage. Into the corner now. Interesting drive there from Hannah Schill, and a rebound collected by Amert. Now, last year in the COVID year, Cap went 5-5 in conference play. They were 9-9 in conference play when Brooke was a sophomore, and when she was a freshman, 11-7 in her freshman year in conference play. That was when they lost in the OAC quarters to Otterbein. So she's been a part of every team. Has been at least 500 in conference play, even last year, which kind of a weird year. But they still went 5-5 in conference play. And then to this season where it's kind of hit the bottom out, obviously.
Yeah, I will say that's the interesting thing about what COVID did with all ball.
Another one.
Athletes coming out everywhere. For example, just using him as an example, Oklahoma's quarterback, Caleb Williams, who's now USC's quarterback, teaming back up with Lincoln Riley. He never played his senior year. They came into college his first year, and you ended up being a starter. Like, that just shows you there's a lot of the players out here who just didn't get the opportunity to have a senior year and were thrown right in the midst of just straight college, or some are proven straight they're ready for it.
Yeah, that's a great point. And especially soccer, because of it being a fall sport, so they kind of had their season, but they still had a lot of fifth-year players.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really weird mix of having graduate seniors in there. You had fourth-year and fifth-year seniors all over the place, even some sixth-year seniors in some cases. And that was really weird. You had some kids who are 22 years old out there on the field against some 18-year-olds. It was kind of a very weird dynamic that won't be a thing anymore, but was definitely kind of a weird part of this season as well. 3 ball in the corner. That was a bad shot. Rebound collected by Cummins. That was tipped by Flock, so not over and back. Marietta has really struggled this quarter. They haven't really done much of anything. I think they have 3 points.
They've gone 1-7 in their last field goal attempts.
That explains part of it. Cummins just throws up a blind fadeaway layup. No good.
So they're actually scoreless in the last 3 minutes.
Amert wide open.
Splash!
There it is. Brooke Ammert's having a game. 12 of Capital's 25.
Another timeout. We're down, making this a 20-point game. I think Coach Vivian is sweating.
Let's talk about this John Carroll game again, checking in on that one. John Carroll's leading 43-22 right now, midway through the third quarter. Olivia Nagy has 12 points to Lily Edwards 7. Goodness. Look at this stat. John Carroll is 16 for 34, 47%, which is great, but not anything that's amazing or anything. 7 for 37. Baldwin Wallace is shooting 18% from the field right now. And that is why they are getting smoked right now by John Carroll, who is trying to win this conference. If they hold on to the victory tonight, they would face off with Wilmington at home on Saturday to potentially win the conference. If Baldwin Wallace wins that game, then Baldwin Wallace will be the champion. And Capital technically wouldn't necessarily have to play the giant Baldwin Wallace team if they choose to rest people. I doubt they would. But
Well, I know you talked about how if John Carroll does win this, and right now it's looking
good.
It's looking good for them right now. They'll have the 2-0 sweep within the regular season. It's hard to beat the team twice, especially when it comes to the postseason, though. So that's a whole different team. So
yeah, those two appear to be on the collision course to face off against each other in the OAC title. But John Carroll has dropped 2 games this season. One was to this Marietta team, 81-80 at home, all the way back on December 18th. The other one was a home loss to Otterbein, who would technically be the 4 seed right now. So they've shown that they're beatable. Baldwin Wallace is 14-0 against the conference and 0-1, potentially 0-2 against John Carroll. Another offensive rebound. We sound like broken records and a souvenir for a fan. Courtside seats. Might have hit that kid in the head there. He puts his head down. 20-point game. Marietta is scoreless in their last 4 minutes. Capital is a 9-2 run the last 5:50 of this game. And Amert is heating up, as they say. 4 for her last 5 shooting. She's knocked down 2 threes. 12 points and 6 rebounds, a block, a steal, and an assist. All over the stat sheet. Brewer. Pass to Murphy. Foul is called. Oh, my.
looked like Kelly Levering. She thought she just took that out of Murphy's hand.
She was in the restricted area, so maybe that's part of that there. But it did look like Murphy drove right into her.
That's her second foul. It just sends Murphy to the free throw line.
It's good.
Gets that to go in. Murphy, just 65% free throw shooter on the season. But right now, she's got 6.
She'll be locked into the gym this some point this offseason and working on the free throws.
7 right there for her. Yes. You're absolutely
That's
right
like
about
the
that.
easiest thing to control in your game.
I don't know about you, but it's just something about the offseason that just, for me as a athlete perspective, I just love it. Just as, when you can just do stuff to your craft that you normally aren't able to do during the season, to try new things and to figure out how you can easily get better.
Yeah, and free throw shooting, probably one of the easier areas that you can improve your game. It's just repetition over and over again. 3 ball off the rim. That was a miracle to just keep the shot clock from going off there. Liston throws it up. We've got an 18-point game. Cap is chipping away. Brewer throws it away. If we could cut these 20 turnovers in half, we'd have a much different game right now. Nice tip there from Flock. Again, Marietta is shooting 33%. Capital is shooting 32%. It's the fact that they've taken 23 more shots than Capital, given the turnovers, given the offensive rebounding. The defense has been good. They're 4 of 21 from 3 is Marietta. But there's just so much volume of shooting on one side versus the other due to these turnovers. It's hard to erase an 11 turnover differential.
Well, you talk about, them shooting from behind the arc. It's not. It's. I guess it's easy for them to take as many shots as they did from behind the arc, knowing that they have over 26 points within the paint. That's nearly half of what they have on the scoreboard right now.
And they're getting the rebounds off the misses, so you might as well shoot them. And sometimes that's setting up easy shots on its own right. Do good. Into the paint herself and drops one in.
Just a nice little roll.
She shows glimpses too, does Maddie. She's got nice little post moves, trying to put it together still.
Well, I know she had that the knee injury.
Yeah. She's a sophomore, got 2 more years and hopefully get healthy again. And
I think this season has just been very interesting on the women's side of things.
tough layup from Brewer, no good.
You know, aside from COVID, you know, figuring out your rotations,
New coach.
coach coming into that, like, there's a lot of factors that went into this season. So hopefully this is like a turning point for the whole team itself.
Definitely, from a team chemistry standpoint, a growing year. You guys are growing through this together. So I think there is something to that.
Either two things. You know, J. Cole, this can go 2 ways. It can go up, it can go down. And with this, the team chemistry, this will either bring the team closer together or further divide them apart.
And that will remain to be seen this offseason. Murphy gets the screen from Dugood. And that time it's a clean block.
Aaron Hahn.
Yep. 3 ball in the corner. Gribble.
It looked like to be a collision
Was that
with the ref.
was that with the ref or the basket? One of the players on Marietta, I think that was Hannah Schill, ran flat into the referee. And I think kind of knocked the wind out of herself for a minute.
The ref is unfazed.
Yeah, he was fine. He was like a brick wall. But Hannah Schill, I guess, just kind of lost where she was on the floor and just ran flat into the referee. He doesn't get to come off for a breather. So.
I did actually learn, though. Did you know that NBA refs, they actually have film. They watch film on the players, you know, before the game actually takes off to see what kind of fouls, to see the tendencies of the players.
I did not know that, and I guarantee these officials don't do that. 50-29 our score. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Moving screen not called against Wyland. And Cap keeps possession now. 3-second differential, shot in game clock. Flock comes around the screen now. Drives left, gets another screen from Wyland, looking for help, coughs it up. And that's going to go the other way. Not the worst time to lose the possession arrow because you'll get the ball to start the quarter, but got to play defense here for 5 seconds now.
So this third quarter is actually our highest scoring quarter of so far in this game.
Well, yeah, they scored 12 points in the first half, so that'll do it. Was that 17 here?
17. So
Marietta's at
9. So they've held their ground. So they show like the team has the potential to do things.
And again, Marietta's playing their normal rotation right now. It's not like they have gone to reserves this quarter or anything like that. Obviously, it's much easier to play with a 20-point lead, but they're 0 of 8 from 3 this quarter, 4 for 17 from the field. They've scored 9 points, as we mentioned. Also, Cap with the foul here. That's pretty bad situation to foul. 5 seconds left. And you give Marietta 2 free throws. Grake misses the second, gets her own miss. 3 to shoot. Deep 3, dagger. Gribble knocks it down from outside. A 4-point sequence. 25-point lead for Marietta. We'll be right back. Well, it's 54-29, a 17 to all of a sudden 13 quarter there. As that was not a pretty sequence to end the quarter there for Capital. They commit the foul. They give up the offensive, well, first they turn the ball over, commit the foul, give up an offensive rebound. After the miss of the free throw, give up a 3 at the buzzer.
Well, it's fourth quarter. Let me throw them fours up.
I'm not sure why Marietta just got the ball there either, because they shouldn't have, given the possession arrow in our favor. So that was weird. Basket no good here, and doesn't end up being a difference there, but the arrow is still pointing in our direction, and maybe it didn't get switched in that last sequence there at the last 5 seconds, but that was definitely a mistake. Not that it will likely matter in the outcome here, but Brewers now fouled. No, they're going to call the foul under the basket against Amert. That was
Allie
Grake committing the foul there on Amert. So 20 on the shot clock now. Weiland to Amert. Oh, I don't know. Travel called there on Brook.
That makes turnover number 22.
Man.
And the crazy thing is with this lead, Marietta only has 10 turnovers.
Yeah, they're taking care of the basketball. They're playing good defense. And their offense, especially here in the second half, has been lacking, to say the least. But it really doesn't matter when you are dominating points off turnovers and turnovers. Like you said, they're shooting the ball way more, so it's not even close in terms of just the volume of shots that they're getting up there.
I think Marietta is they're just trying to get through and get to the next game. But this game is far from over. They never say the impossible.
Brewer out of bounds, another turnover. Here's an ugly stat. Of the leaders in turnovers per game, Capital is number 1, 3, and 4.
Can I take a guess?
Go ahead.
Can I take a wild guess?
Yeah, who are the 3 there?
What is Brewer?
Yeah.
What is? I'm gonna go with Amert.
No. Under the basket scoop layup, good on Brewer.
And I'm gonna go with.
Amert's 13th for what it's worth.
We'll go with Do Good.
She's 10th.
Lay it on me.
So you got Murphy 3rd and Flock 4th. So Brewer, Murphy, Flock, Do Good, Amert, all in the top 13. Weiland's 19th.
So the main people who bring the ball
the
up.
6 players that see the most floor action are all at least in the top 19. 3 of the top 4. That is part of the problem. Turnovers per game, Capital ranks dead last, 20.9 turnovers per game.
What's the team with the least?
Otterbein, 14.4. Heidelberg's kind of in the conversation. They're at 19.4. Brewer offensive rebound, putback, she's fouled.
Great tenacity right there. It's like you walk past, if you're in the movie theater and then you see a movie that you want to go see, but you already just seen the movie you already seen. That's what it is with this team. Sometimes you just walk by and it'll be like, this seems interesting. Then you come back. It wasn't worth the ticket price. Brewer gets the second one to go.
(56-31) the score. Brewer up to 7 points now, 6 points. Capital's bench still has not scored in this game. And Marietta's leading scorer is still at just 11 points. It's Gribble, who's 3 of 8 from 3. She also has 4 steals. Wow. Pass. Oh, that's a nice play off the inbound. Hannah Schill with an easy layup. She's into double figures now on the other side.
The only category the Comets are beating the Pioneers in today's game is 3-point percentage.
It is 33% to 21% there. Murphy for 3.
Splash.
And she knocks it down. They've now hit 4 threes to Marietta's 5 on 13 less attempts. That was the other stat I was looking at before this one that kind of caught my attention. As there's shots missed here, offensive rebound again. 3 ball in the corner. No. And another offensive rebound. Man, this Marietta team has no breaks. Another 3 from Gribble. That's not good. And Murphy gets the miss. Capital's actually second in the conference in three-point shooting percentage, 33%.
They're not bad.
They're actually pretty good from outside. And I think part of that is a shots missed here. They know when to pick their chances there, and they're not taking bad threes. That's one positive of this team. No one's forcing up outside shots. Easy travel there against Wilson.
Good call on that. And I think that progressively you've seen them take more shots from behind the 3 as the season progressed on. Normally they're not a team to normally take a lot of shots from behind the arc, but we've seen progressively as the season.
Even the last few years going back, I mean, there were games where Capital would take 7 3-pointers, and they were all Aaron Burns. And now some of these kind of complimentary players are not afraid to take an open shot. But that's the thing. Capital is not taking bad 3-point shots, which is a positive, but they're also turning the ball over before they get good looks a lot of the time too. So it's kind of give and take there. You could say walking up the court and chucking a 3 is a bad shot, but at least you get something off the rim rather than turning it over. So there's some give and take there. Croft is fouled.
Clear foul right there, 34 on 34 Crime.
Croft is a local product out of Marietta, Ohio. See that every now and then. 5'11" sophomore.
And Croft is actually a 63% free throw shooter.
I like that Marietta has so many players that they can use in their rotation. They have played 11 deep today, so you would assume that's kind of their rotation throughout the season. Maybe you shorten that to 9 or 10 come playoff time, but
that's normally how it works. And a lot of teams like that, I don't get a lot of respect because they feel like there's no one player to play through. And I'm more of a player who I like seeing the ball being passed around.
Yeah, I would say from what we've seen today, Gribble's clearly their best shooter, and setting her up for looks is important. But other than that, this team spreads the ball out well. They attack the basket. They play good defense, and there's really good chemistry between some of these players here. Even on the second unit there, connecting was Congrove and Hefner, 2 seniors. This second unit is probably the best second unit in the conference. And that depth for Marietta is why they're one of the top 3 teams. They don't have a Lily Edwards. They don't have an Olivia Nagy. But they do have 9, 10, 11 really solid basketball players that they can count on minutes from.
I can't think of what the team is, and now it's going to be in my head, but there was this report about this NCAA team who actually doesn't take a shot until they pass the ball a certain amount of times before taking a shot. And I'm going to find the team who I'm thinking of.
Do you like that rule?
What rule?
The certain number of passes before you can shoot. That's like, I remember playing basketball in middle school, and they're like, all right, team, 5 passes before anyone shoots, share the ball. That's what that feels like to me.
What was crazy, the team, now I really got to find the team, because the team actually made it to the March Madness.
That's I don't know, that's crazy to me. Not that you shouldn't pass the ball, but what if you break the rule? Does he bench you? Does he take you off the floor?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's always interesting.
Croft with the layup.
Another thing that I find interesting is like when you have an assistant coach who's more knowledgeable than the head coach, and you don't know which one to listen to, knowing either your head coach or your assistant coach.
That literally sounds like a middle school basketball rule that some coach brought to the college level. Cyphers banks in the 3.
Off the backboard. We'll take it. Bank. Call bank Cyphers.
They have now made as many 3s as Marietta has in this game. That's the one thing we got here, Jonathan. Layup no good. Croft offensive rebound. Liston in the corner. Liston gets the screen. Switching courts now. Hefner tosses it into Croft. Swatted. They also have the same amount of blocks in this game. 4 each. Eight to shoot for Marietta. Top of the key. Screen. Congrove drives. No good. And Laney Murphy on the rebound. Murphy leaves it for Cyphers. Thought we were going to see a heat check there for a second. Passes off to Flock. Murphy back to Flock. Under the basket. Flock back up top. Here's the heat check. Cyphers.
Flash.
Let's go.
Okay, then back to back. Hey, then Cyphers.
So Kaylee's got 6 off the bench. Timeout. Marietta.
Told you, making Coach sweat.
65-40. Our score, 3:15 to play.
Didn't say he was sweating a lot, but it's a sweat.
We'll be right back. I'm now convinced Jonathan's making up this rule about this 5 passes from some coach because I can't find anything either.
I'm finding it. I told you, I'm on the hunt right now.
Congrove in the paint gets the basket to go. I think she traveled before the shot, but it goes down. Turnover again. That is now 26 turnovers for Capital. And Marietta starting to kind of take the air out of the basketball now. Spot up jump shot here from Cummins, no good. Offensive rebound by Addie Hill, who just checked into this game. And slow to get up is Camille Cummins. She'll get back down the floor. Kelsey Warnock checking in as well now. And Madison Cecil will check in for Marietta. Mariah Goddard also in the game. Goodard, excuse me. So it's now 16 players that have seen the floor for Marietta in this contest. Fouls called under the basket. Allie Shane will check in for Marietta as well. And for Capital, it's number 11, the sophomore Carrie Wyman. Brewers shooting 2 now in the bonus. First one's good.
Sweet. Now I'm gonna be on the hunt for this, and next time I see you, I'm gonna have the information in front of me. I swear, last night I was with a friend, and there was a video, and you find something and like it's in your head, and you just like, I can't find it. I wish there was just like a button for that. Like, I just need the video. Like on TikTok, for example, like there's so many TikToks you keep scrolling, but like you have one for every moment in life, but you can't find the video. So nobody really gets the reference.
I'm just gonna assume this is a middle school rule from some team you had that it just kind of stuck in your head.
Nah, I'm telling you, this is some NCAA team. I seen the statistics. They're a sleeper team with passer rating, and they were able to. Their coach has some kind of system in place where they have to pass the ball a certain amount of times before they take a shot off. Oh, without taking a dribble. Okay, let me rephrase my question better. There we go. Google's going to get this one.
67-41. By the way, the 26 turnovers this season is not even a season high for Capital. They had 29 against Illinois Wesleyan. The difference there is that was the first game of the season, so it's a little bit sloppy. They only lost that game by 8. Much different here. Did you find it?
Bellarmine, the D1 team that doesn't dribble.
Who?
Bellarmine. I knew this. I knew what I was talking about. I knew what I was talking about.
At the free throw line, this is Capitals number 42, Kirsten Griffin.
The team that doesn't dribble. See, you know what? Now I got to pull up more information. I like when you pull up fast.
Okay, this is a team that hasn't done anything.
That's not the point. The
You
point
go-
is
you
I
said,
made my point.
No. You said they made the tournament. This is some guy who should not be coaching basketball, who took over a team, made some stupid rule to get on ESPN. Basket's good here on the other side.
It's work. You want to know another interesting, crazy coach? This one coach. Now, he did come from high school. He's now coaching NCAA D1 now, a small D1 school for football. He doesn't believe in punting or kicking the ball.
Now, see, that I can get behind. That's fun. That's the Madden coaching strategy right there. Kenzie Weiland in the game, meanwhile, for Capital, just to kind of reset the floor here. A lot of younger players out there. Aaron Burns, the sophomore out of Westerville, on the floor. I mentioned Kirsten Griffin, who just shot at the free throw line that last sequence. Aaron Burns and number 31, Cassie Wolf, the 5'5 junior out of Circleville. And once again at the line is Kenzie Weiland, Maddie's sister, also a freshman.
It's about to get very wily.
No good. Next season, you could be looking at a situation where you'd have two Weilands and a Wyman on the floor. That could be tricky.
Why? See what I did there?
69-43. 1:20 to play. A reminder, this weekend we have women's lacrosse action here, so if you're looking for some taste of Capital athletics this weekend, Capital is, of course, on the road at Baldwin-Wallace.
Tune in. You know, football, 6 months without it.
Yeah. We'll be back out on Bernlohr's turf here for two women's lacrosse games. The men's have a basketball game here this weekend? I believe they would.
I think they're on the road for the rest of the.
They're on the road too?
Yep.
They must have a doubleheader on the road with Baldwin-Wallace. Double check that. Basket underneath there is Griffin. She's fouled. Giffen, excuse me. Yeah, they're on the road too. It's a doubleheader against Baldwin-Wallace. So the only athletics broadcasted this weekend will be the women's lacrosse games on the 19th and 20th. Men's on the 26th. And then we have several games throughout the month of March and April.
Well, you know, this my favorite kind of season. It's coming back, track season. Don't forget about that.
We got to get a mic set up for one of those.
I would love to have some commentary. Just he got dusted.
That would be a long day. I know those track meets. Those are not quick days. But I guess if you're not participating in every one of them, but you could broadcast every one of them. But I don't know how they do that with the Olympics. You know, they got so many events they're trying to juggle. But
I think they do a good job.
They do.
Commentating on the games at the Olympic level. The only sport that I think is hard, or not necessarily hard to commentate, but it's very boring, golf. And I love golf. Like, I enjoy playing. Just if you watch it on TV, you gotta love golf.
see if Cap can get a basket here down the stretch. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Giffen, kick out, throw it up. No good. Missed shot from Cassie Wolf, and that'll do it. 71-44. Honestly, could have been a lot more ugly than it was. But with Capital giving up a 41-12 halftime lead, they were playing catch-up the rest of the half. They did outscore Marietta in the second half, 32-30. Take what you will from that.
There's always some pros and cons to it. It's just how you write it out.
So this weekend at Baldwin-Wallace, and then after that, the probable road game against Wilmington, potentially a home game here in the 8-9 matchup, but that's likely what we're going to see. Cap, can they? The goal would be obviously to win that game and see what happens in a 1-8 matchup, but you'd have to like Cap's chances in that 8-9 matchup. They've beaten both Heidelberg and Wilmington, the two teams ahead of them.
I like the
I'm sorry, one team ahead of them.
I like that matchup with Wilmington. It's a better I feel like it's a more likely chance that they can get something going with that. They were able to get their first conference win on the road against Wilmington. So I think that maybe this can get the ball rolling for them. But, you know, you never know. You never know in this game of basketball.
It's been a long season for this women's team, as we kind of talked through here. They've been through a lot, so hopefully they can end it on a good note and pick up a win in the conference tournament and maybe make some noise and kind of, you know, keep it close maybe with the potential 1 seed or 2 seed that they would face.
I want to see the
in
impossible.
that second round.
I want to see the impossible. You never know. You
Yeah,
never know.
We've never seen a team really go on a deep run on the basketball side. I'm trying to think of a lower seed that made a run here in recent years. I think there was a 4 or 5 seed that made a little bit of a move. But, yeah, we haven't really seen that Cinderella run. So, you know, maybe we'll see it this year. Who knows? Anyway, we do have lacrosse coming up, as we mentioned, this weekend, 2 games. And then another one next weekend with the men's game as well. Track is in session as well, so check out the website, athletics.capital.edu. Stay up to date on all of the athletics here. And the men's as well. We wish them luck in their conference tournament. I think they're kind of a middle seed right now, so we'll see if they can make a first-round upset as well and go on a run of their own. Both teams will be in the OAC tournament next week. So, again, stay tuned on athletics.capital.edu. Follow us on all social media for the latest updates there. And then we turn the page to spring sports here on campus. Any final thoughts, Jonathan?
No. It's been a great season here. Enjoy working with both you, Jimmy, and Charlie this season. I really do hope both of these teams can prevail, do something impossible in this tournament. Reminder, everybody has a ticket to this dance. We'll see who'll be staying a little longer.
We will see. If not, you know, lacrosse, those teams are going to be making a run this year. I'll tell you that. Those are both projected to be among the top of the teams in their respective sides of the OAC. So keep an eye on that here on the channel. Jonathan, thanks as always for the help. And we'll catch you next time here from either the Capitol Center or Burnmore Stadium here on the campus of Capital University. Have a great night, everybody.